It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Jane Senke, the co-owner of Senke CNY Garage Door. Neil Carr stops by, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. And Eileen Gannon, the co-owner of Gannon's Ice Cream, will stop by, along with Natasha Schmidt, who is the co-owner of Rubberstone, New York, all in this hour number 2 of The Local Show. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Jane Senke, co-owner of Senke CNY Garage Door, an old friend and a great company right there. How are you, Jane?
Good. How are you?
Very good. Very good. So Jane and I, Greg, we had met a while ago. I think I was in my old neighborhood. And is Tim your husband, or
Yes.
is it okay? And Tim was traveling around. He might have just finished a job, and I said, I'm a marketing guy and I do voiceover and all this kind of stuff, and I need a garage door. Would you be interested in maybe making a deal? So then I went up and I talked with Jane, I talked with the gang, and you had just bought CNY at that time, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us the history of Senke first, and then how you became Senke CNY.
Okay. My husband Tim's grandfather started the business.
Oh, okay.
And he started it in 1974. And his grandfather and grandmother ran the business for like 20-something years.
Yeah.
His father and mom joined the business and took over and ran operations. And then Tim and his sister took over as owners. And we've been in business. Next year it will be 50 years.
Wow. That's a long time.
Definitely a family business,
Yes,
I would say.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back to, and you're a young lady, but old guys like me and Greg, we certainly remember 1974. And
Most of it. Yes, I do.
Were you still on psychedelics at that point, or were you?
I was phasing out of that. Yeah.
Good. But I'm thinking to myself, what was happening in 74 in the housing market? What kind of door? Why garage doors? I wonder why they thought garage doors would be a good business.
Well, I think Tim's grandfather worked for another garage door company.
Okay.
And then he decided to start on his own and just start the market and do local. And
Right.
he took care of a lot of the churches and commercial people, commercial customers.
I didn't even think about commercial. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he just,
Yeah.
Tim's dad graduated college and started working for him. And
Right.
there we
Because
are.
back then, everything was a single bay garage. You hardly had any double bay garages,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it was just the little single things. So what did you do before you got into business?
I worked in banking
Oh, you were in banking.
for
Okay.
almost 20 years.
Wow.
Wow. And then you still managed to be in this business for a long time too. This is great. So CNY Garage Door, they were a whole different company?
Yes.
Okay. And you absorbed them, and that's been how many years now?
14.
Okay, wow. So you've been with that for a while. Yeah. And how many places do you have? How many stores do you have?
We only have one now.
Okay.
Yep. We when we took over CNY, they retired and they asked us if we were interested in buying them out. So they had an office in Clay.
Right.
We never had an office or showroom. We just had our warehouse in East Syracuse. We took over their location, and then we decided to open our location in East Syracuse.
Right.
And then we decided it was easier just to have one location, so we closed the Clay office and just moved into our building that we owned in East Syracuse.
So you guys, you sell brand new doors. Do you service older doors too? People.
Yep.
Okay. And what do you take care of on the doors? Like, what I had a problem where I put the garden stakes next to the garage door. So the little wire that goes up and around caught it and twisted it and just mauled. The door was cockeyed and everything. Would you come up and take care of things like that and
Yes.
repair it?
Yeah, we service anything that has to do with the garage door or the garage door opener.
Okay. And you've been doing that forever. So.
Forever.
And can you are you having trouble getting people out to people's places? Like, are you extended? If I called you up, would it be like 8 weeks or can
no,
you get it?
no. We always try to. I mean, usually within a few days, we try to get out. Certainly if you're stuck in, we try to get you at least out that day so you're not stuck in the garage.
Yeah.
But we, have been lucky to be able to try to get you within a week, if hopefully sooner.
That's encouraging. Almost everything you talk about now is long lead times.
Yeah.
How about supply chain? Anything happening as far as difficulty getting, your supplies, your whatever,
The product,
the
It's
doors
gotten
themselves.
better. It's still about 4 weeks, which used to be only like 2 weeks, but things are much better than they were a few years ago.
What makes Senke's products maybe different and more better than the competition? Like, what kind of doors do you have, and what's the most popular doors right now that people are using?
Well, we sell Haas Door, which is a company out of Ohio. It's family owned, it's been around since like the 50s. So they delivered us every week. And not necessarily that they're the better or anything of any other competition, but, we've been installing them for 25 years. Really like the product. So once
So the product very well. Yeah.
Once we started installing them, we bought the doors actually from CNY Garage Door, and we just fell in love with that product, and we've been selling them since. We also sell the LiftMaster garage door openers, which we've been doing for 20 plus years also.
And that technology has that gotten a lot better, very reliable? And like, how long if you install one of your good LiftMasters, how long should that last somebody?
We think at least 20 years.
Wow, that's pretty good.
You might have parts that fail that you have to replace or something, but overall it's, they're a good product. We've been doing LiftMaster for a real long time.
So it's funny. I had someone install a second one in my garage, and his parting words were, "Yeah, good for about 6,000 cycles with that." And I think so. Every time I open the door and shut the door, I go, "What number am I on? How long is that going to be good for?" So.
How long before
the rest
it just doesn't open?
Yeah, the rest of the family just goes bang, 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 bang. They're hitting the button every 5 seconds and says, "Slow down."
Yeah, don't use it up. Do you sell mostly insulated doors? Is that more the trend than just like the old aluminum kind that dent?
Both. I mean, some people don't want, insulated doors. They just want steel doors that are, a door that works. We have super fancy doors that are really expensive. We have doors.
Bulletproof doors? Do you have those?
Oh, golly. These days, right? Oh, it's terrible.
It'd probably be a lot of work installing those. So.
It's pretty heavy, too, I would imagine.
Yeah. Now, do you sell there was, I had been reading in one of the trade magazines about a LiftMaster type garage door opener that opens from the side instead of being down the center of your garage. It goes on the side of the door. You got that?
We do.
Okay.
It's a jack shaft garage door opener.
I love the name of that.
Yeah, jack shaft.
Yeah, so it doesn't have anything overhead if you're worried about your cars or anything, or you have storage up in the ceiling of your garage. They're not as popular, but we do sell quite a few of them. Not as much as the other openers, but they really, since I've been working here, it's, they've definitely picked up for sure.
Gotcha. So if somebody wants to create a relationship with you and either get a repair done or a new garage door or a quote, how can they go do that? What's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can call us on our phone number.
Yep, go ahead.
At 315-656-3690. Or email us at senkes.com.
Okay. And the Senkes is Senkes, Senkes.com.
Yes.
And it's 656-3690. Do you answer the phone most of the time, or?
A lot of the time, yes.
Okay, good. So you're talking to family. When you're there, you're like family.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's wonderful. Jane, it's great to get reacquainted with you, and I wish the best of luck to you this season and all that. We need a new door, so don't run out of here. I got to talk to you about that, too.
Okay.
So.
Well, I appreciate you having us on, and
yeah.
Thank you very much.
You got it. We'll have you on again.
All right.
Next up, we're going to be talking with Neil Carr. He's the vice president of Prime Heating and Air, another locally owned company, and they deal with HVAC right here on The Local Show. Stick around on 570 WSYR.